Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and a warm welcome if you're new, honey. So today we are going to talk about part 2, part 3. I don't even know what part we're on about this baby Emmanuel Haro story. As most know, this was a extremely tragic and deeply disturbing case, and now there has been a little bit more development, even though it's not super surprising, because now baby Emmanuel Haro's father, Jake Haro, has pleaded to guilty charges connected to his own son's death. Now, today we're going to figure out what exactly did he confess to, because it was a few things, and what happens to him next, and of course, what happens to the mother. So if you're ready to get into this story, just stay tuned. Now, to fully understand this story, we have to rewind a little bit. So on August 14th, 2025, Emmanuel Haro, who was then 7 months old, was reported missing in Yucaipa, California. His mother, Rebecca Haro, said that she was attacked in a parking lot while changing his diaper and that Emmanuel was taken. And she says that the way that these people were able to take him was because they hit her on the back of the head, which is just, it's a lot, okay? So, yeah, she said that she was struck, she blacked out, and then she woke up and she couldn't find Emmanuel anywhere. But eventually, this story ended up having a lot of cracks in it because investigators really started doubting a lot of things. Number one, there was multiple inconsistencies in her story. She would tell one story a certain way one day, and then the next day it's like a few things are tweaked, and that just kept happening. Not to mention, they did not want to work with investigators to help find their child. They stopped cooperating with them. And everyone knows, hey, if your child is missing, one thing that you're going to want to do is find them. Hello. So, hey, what do you need? What information can I give you to help you find my child? The simple fact that they were not trying to cooperate with them, it's like they tried to deal with the police as less as possible when that should have been the opposite if your kid is going missing, you know? And of course, there was no credible evidence of this kidnapping even happening. I mean, like, it wasn't caught on camera. Nobody saw this happen. There was no witnesses, like nothing. So this all just sounded really fishy from the start. And about a week later, on August 22nd, both Jake and Rebecca Haro were arrested and charged with Emmanuel's murder, including making a false report. Now, as of now, Emmanuel's body still has not been recovered. And I mean, investigators, they're still trying, but honestly, guys, you know, he was an infant and he was out there with, you know, nature. I'm not even going to go into detail about that, but I'll just say we may not be able to find, you know, his body, unfortunately. Now, let's get more into Jake Haro, the father, because he actually had a criminal history. In 2018, he was accused of abusing an infant daughter who later sustained severe lifelong injuries. And this poor baby girl, she is now in a wheelchair. She is not able to be mobile herself, and this has affected her entire life. I mean, I really hate talking about stuff like this, but it needs to be discussed, you know? Like, people like this to me are absolutely disgusting because not only are you hurting a child, but you are robbing a child of quality of life, which I feel like, you know, you put those two together, like, you are just an evil human being. Please put you under the jail, you know, like, at this point. Now we're going to fast forward to yesterday, okay? October 16th, 2025. In a courtroom in Riverside County, Jake Haro entered a guilty plea to several charges. Number 1, second-degree murder in the death of Emmanuel. Number 2, assault causing bodily harm to a child resulting in death. And 3, filing a false police report, you know, for example, you know, fabricating the whole kidnapping and stuff when the whole time you guys were the ones that hurt him. And you know what? If you guys saw the interview, I did try to post it on here, but last time they flagged me for it, unfortunately. But you can find it all over YouTube if you haven't already. But just pay attention to their faces when you watch the interview. They do not really seem to be like that heartbroken. And also, I do this thing. I pay attention to people's eyes. So you can be frowning, you can be smiling, but you cover up those little expressions and you only pay attention to their eyes. They were like completely just like whatever, we're just trying to get this over with, so we can go back to living our lives. We just have to fake this whole story and get you guys to believe it. There was no type of fear, for their child. There was no type of panic in their eyes, nothing. But anyway, the DA's office says that the plea was entered directly to the court, not as part of some negotiated plea deal. So that means that all charges were admitted and the judge will determine his sentence. As of now, Jake faces a potential sentence of 25 years to life in prison. Now, he is also scheduled for sentencing on November 3rd, 2025, which is kind of interesting because that is the same exact date for the mother, Rebecca Haro's preliminary hearing on her amended charges. Now, when they say amended charges, they better had amended them to a higher degree or something because no, she need to be under the jail too. Absolutely not. Matter of fact, I really feel like they should get the same sentence, but her, I feel like more so because you sat here and lied and said that this baby, like you're really the one who kicked off this whole plan. So it kind of seems like, I don't know, you know what? But both of y'all need to be under the jail. That's what I do know. I've seen some people say online that this guilty plea changes the narrative dramatically, and I want to say yes and no, because the narrative in regards to like social media, that these people are evil people, they're, a baby unaliver, that narrative has stayed the same. But in the eyes of the law and like the severity of their punishment, the severity of their sentencing, that has changed for sure, because now he has pleaded guilty and, it's pretty much set in stone from here. So I noticed that there was a lot of questions online, so I kind of picked like a few that I saw a lot. Number one, like we talked about, where is Emmanuel's body? As of now, as we know, his remains still have not been recovered. I'm sorry, y'all. This really like breaks my heart. Number two, what is going to happen to Rebecca? As of now, she maintains not guilty on her amended criminal complaint, which I feel like is absolutely crazy. That amended criminal complaint, that sounds like, oh my gosh. You hear sentencing and you hear amended criminal complaint. It sounds like she's going to get some form of a lesser sentence, which she does not need to do. Because like we talked about, she's the one who kicked this off. She's the one who told police that she could not find her baby. She was in on it. They are equally responsible. But anyways, and like we discussed, her preliminary hearing and Jake's sentencing are both set on November 3rd. Now, as I was scrolling online, I also saw that a lot of people were saying that Jake, he had these prior convictions for child abuse, and the way that it was handled so loosely, because he didn't even go to prison, y'all. The way it was handled, a lot of people are saying if the law would have been a lot more strict with him and he would have been in prison, then this wouldn't have even happened. And baby Emmanuel, he might still be here. And I've got to admit, they've got a good point. And I think that they're right. Because how are you going to let him do what he did to that poor baby girl, to another child? He completely ruined that poor baby girl's life. And then he took Emmanuel's life. He's just constantly escalating. And that's what happens when people think that they can get away with stuff. That's honestly what happens. It just starts escalating. I'm trying to find a silver lining here, and the only things I can think of is number one, Jake Haro, he admitted to everything and he is not going to have a plea deal because this was not considered a quote unquote plea to the court. And because of that, the judge is not bound by any type of negotiated deal. That means that the court has full discretion within the legal range of punishment, which I'm very happy about because I feel like that judge, if they have any sense, which I'm sure they do because they're a judge, is going to give this man the max. Now, as for his wife, I don't know if she's going to get the same sentencing, but I sure do hope so. But the second thing that kind of made me see a little bit of a silver lining is that a lot of people in the community and a lot of different advocacy groups are calling for complete closure. And that means that they really want to locate Emmanuel's remains, have a full disclosure of what exactly happened, and justice for Emmanuel in a way that prevents similar tragedies. So we want to scare these people off. If common morals and common decency doesn't tell you to not hurt your child, we want them to at least be afraid of the law. You are going to get the max. You are going to be in there for the rest of your life. Just to make sure that people stop doing this. And it's crazy because you shouldn't even have to do that. As a parent, obviously, you should not hurt your child, But, common sense ain't so common nowadays, y'all, unfortunately. But when I actually did see some form of true expression, it was actually when his dad, Jake Haro, was very emotional in court, crying as he submitted his pleas because he didn't care about baby Emmanuel. He cares about himself. He doesn't want to go back to jail. That's when I saw real emotion. I cannot stand these people. As you can tell, honestly, who does? Who can stand these people? They're insane. But overall, guys, this case is so heartbreaking on absolutely every level. Number one, an innocent child being hurt. Number two, the people that hurt them were the same people that were supposed to protect him. So he was betrayed by his own parents. And of course, all of the other mysteries that we still have to figure out, because what exactly happened to him? We still do not know. So this guilty plea of Jake Haro is a major legal development, but it's so far from the end for this situation. We need closure. We need to figure out what is going on. But guys, that's all I have for us today. If you have anything that you want to add or any updates that you saw, feel free to leave them down in the comments. And also make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell. That way you're notified every time I post. Now, guys, do you think that there's going to be more revelations to this story? And what exactly do you feel like justice means in a case like this? Do you think it means electric chair? Do you think it means, because I do. I'll tell you that right now. I absolutely do. 1,000%. If we could do that, let's do it, But I digress. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts, and thank you so much for watching, guys. In the meantime, be safe out here because this world is cray-cray. Okay, love you. Bye.